This is addressed to Jeff Taylor of the BPI. Thanks to STB for the beat in the BPI's VIP in a big to fight with TPB. But P2P's too deep to preclude. Don't you see? You can't stop it, you won't stop it, you won't block it. Find another way to lie and line your own pocket. Most of us are composed a lot, no profit. 99% of us will never have a pop hit. It's not rocket science, so don't knock it. And don't pretend like you're being philanthropic. Talent isn't rare, it doesn't need protection. Any claim to the contrary is pure condescension. A condeception, the wrong perception, propagated by a proper dong, it's evident. Go to any pub in any town, in any county, and count the musicians doing it without need for some rubes in suits, shitting on our scene and sticking in the boot. So you can stop telling me stuff, put your money where your mouth is, and take a salary cut. Cause I'll happily put all your cash into the hat of a busker the BPI doesn't give a fuck for.
You know, I've seen you in your Rolls Royce in your house in Barbados. Don't come to me moaning like this. I am in a profession that is overpaid and overpraised and overpampered. And yes, I have pirated software. I will admit it. And if that's a shock announcement, then how naive can you be? You're not either a pirate or a good citizen.
Look, I've studied your justifications of what you seem to think. There couldn't be a clearer case of circular reasoning. You judge talent by how well they're selling, but they're only selling from how well you're selling them. You think Adele'd have reached where she was without the media machine feeding the buzz. You say artists should get paid for the work they do, but you only care about the ones that bring in revenue. If the bottom line is the sign of a good artist, then why the need to manipulate the market? So pro-laissez-faire, you recommend protectionism. Where's your decision on which method it is arisen? The only way you're in today's position is through decades of ripping off and plagiarism. But now the next generation's risen, you're complaining, hey, we need to change the system. These crazy kids and their disco dancing, it isn't legitimate if we haven't cleared the sampling. But surely sampling is always a bad thing, not just when the bank accounts need balancing. And if MCs are paid related to their talent, how come I make a fraction of what T-Pain is selling? If I remade a ballad with she named the amorous teenager Daniel to be famous now, but it isn't gonna happen, so we'll stick to doing rapping with integrity, something your industry is lacking.
They have a lot of audacity accusing children of stealing music when they've been robbing artists for years. It's just an embarrassment for them to be using the word steal when, realistically speaking, they're the biggest thieves and gangsters in this entire business. They make everybody that rhymes about doing gangster shit look pathetic in terms of the amount of money that they've stolen and the amount of culture that they've robbed from our people.
Ask any MC or composer, piracy, yes please. It's the only method I know to get my VSTs. Nothing's proportionate, the prices are extortionate. To lawfully produce, only a portion can afford the stuff. I'm sure that cutting off connections and dealing bands would leave the music scene desolate, completely bland. Innovation comes from underground, where there ain't much money round, so we resort to lawlessness to make the funny sounds. And then of course all that goes around comes around. The majors wander round and plunder from the underground. See, you need us as much as we need you, and that might not be much depending on your view. I was on the tube once and overheard a conversation between two rec execs planning exploitation. A singer had passed on, so they tacked a crap track onto the back catalogue and laughed a lot. I thought, I can't believe it, this is a mix-up. I'm literally listening to paint a vulgar picture. The BPI can leave a site on the net censored, an incredibly terrible threat to the tech sector. Now there's an industry that really needs fighting for. They're the future, you're just a wounded dinosaur.
But a lot of the time the reason that people pirate is they want access to good music, and they don't get it because the radio's so The little indie store shut down like 4 years ago, and people can't buy the record they wanted to buy, and they have to swap music with their friends because it's the only way to do it, because nobody touches the weird. They started playing it on the radio here because it was out on the net.
Burn it up, share it with your friends. I don't care how you hear it, as long as you hear it. Music should be shared. The only part about music that I dislike is the business that is attached to it. Now, if music is free, then there is no business. There's just music.
Tchaikovsky didn't need the BPI. Stravinsky didn't need the BPI. Verdi didn't need the BPI. Vivaldi didn't need the BPI. Rossini didn't need the BPI. Debussy didn't need the BPI. Puccini didn't need the BPI. So why do we need the BPI? I don't need the BPI. Homeless busker doesn't need the BPI. British music doesn't need the BPI. The future doesn't need the BPI. You don't need the BPI. We don't need the BPI. They don't need the BPI. The BPI needs the BPI. Bye bye BPI. Bye bye BPI. Bye bye BPI.
Education, like such as South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa, so we will be able to build up our future.
It's been ages since I made a tune this raw, but it's time to draw a line in a music hall. I'm fed up of what's not got in the news reports. Daily slayings, flayings, what do they do this for? Planes drop bombs on those with no food or water. Even Sun Tzu never knew such war. Change the rules so this behaviour's duly lawful. The human forms morph, they become truly awful. There's apathy from who's not involved, but soon we all will. And when it happens to your family, perhaps that's when you'll be thoughtful. A newly orphaned newborns for the time you could have given a shit who was left to the slaughter. Mutilated with new forms of brutal torture, just for living on one side of a stupid border. Who'd have thought the conspiracies of a new world order were actually true? Cause me and you are all just guilty, guilty of not caring quite enough. Guilty, guilty of not caring quite enough. Guilty, guilty of not caring quite enough. Guilty, I'm guilty of not caring quite enough. The blame doesn't lay just on governments and militants. The population's got the plague of indifference. And nowadays, how can you claim ignorance when you've got the wide world at your fingertips? A single click can lead the way to a million hits, but we need to change a Twitter status to a physical thing. Quit the wishful thinking, sitting like an invalid, and stop being a click-to-vis, get up and light the Tinder sticks. Don't just sit through show a night and fog in Schindler's List. Things are happening this minute while you reminisce. Ring your politicians, make them say they'll follow wishes, and if they break their promise, take away their office quick. They're guilty, guilty of not caring quite enough. Guilty, guilty of not caring quite enough. Guilty, guilty of not caring quite enough. Guilty, I'm guilty of not caring quite enough. So, a lot of people want to know what MC stands for. Is it microphone controller? Nope. Is it master of ceremony? Nope, certainly not. It's Minecraft! And I'm Dan Bull! I gotta admit, I rather like playing Minecraft, even though the graphic style's older than an iron bath. Creative's great, but on survival I am crap. It's like the beginning of Oblivion with the giant rats. Swinging my fists around and all I hit's the ground. This shit's tricky, and I'm not spitting about the Bristol sound. Wish I could be whipping out a pixelated pistol. Pow! Big man down, now let's hit the town. Before I got this game, I promise you I did go out, but I'm giving it up for bricks. I'm clinically addicted now. I need my fix or else I'll never leave my little house until I make it bigger when my finger simply clicks the mouse. It fills me with a sensation of power. That's why I'm building me a sensational tower to compensate for the shame when I gaze down in the shower. I've played for hours, I need a wee, so later I'll have to change my trousers. Just one more block and I swear I'll stop. stop. Shush, never mind beta blockers. I'm playing beta and the blocks keep dropping like Sega stocks lately. Watch, I'm taking mobs down like a crazy cop. It'll take a hand amputation to make me stop. Go figure, my axe and crafting table made me lost. Gold digger, bigger than Kanye and Jamie Foxx, behaving like an 80s b-boy. Breaking rocks, remaking the museum of buildings at Avencroft. It's like a Lego set with infinite bricks. No chance of your vacuum cleaner picking up the bits. When I feel philosophical, I sit and look at it and think I'd rather dig than touch Vanessa Hudgens' tits. It's like a game of Jenga without your friends beside. And there's a side I'm quite eager to emphasize. Of course it's a geeky venture. Are you then surprised someone made a life-size model of the Enterprise? I went and tried that myself, but I got bored quick. Although I still managed to replicate the Borg shit. And all it took was one brick and one click. I know what you're thinking, no need to say it. Yeah, I'm sick. Just one more blow.